Hello, and thank you for joining us here on Variant Roles for Project VHS. I am your host and game master, Dan Gaston at MadSciDM on Twitter, and as you can tell, no, it's not Dan Keston, web captioner. Thank you very much. That is Gaston. We're a little out of practice. It's been a few weeks, but we are back here in the void. Thank you for joining us as we continue our explorations on the frontiers of human space and understanding and delve deeper into this mysterious space egg and see just what it has in store for all of us. So let's go around and talk to our fine players, and they can remind us who they are playing. And why don't we start with Taryn?
I knew that was going to happen. Hi, everyone. I'm Taryn Winnie. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing Security Officer Marcus Hatsey, who is a tongue-tied warrior who brandishes or wields defense as a weapon. And yeah, let's get ready.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm here for it. Let's go on over to Anders.
Hello, I'm Anders. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I will be playing Takashi Hano, aka Glitch, who also uses he, him pronouns, and who is a weird adept who exists partially as lightning.
Excellent. All right, continuing down, let's go to Val.
What up? I'm Val. Hi. What is space? I use she, her pronouns. What is life? And tonight I am playing Natasha Longshot Kane, a mysterious explorer who dances with a halo of dark fire. I remembered it. Huzzah! we also use she, her pronouns. Goodbye.
All right, let's kick it on over to Maria.
Hello, everyone. It's me. I'm Maria. I use she, they pronouns. Tonight, I'm playing Eva Delgado, who uses she, her pronouns, and she is an inquisitive explorer whose dreams would rather be read. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So excited to be back in this.
Bye. All right, let's kick it on over to Emma.
Hello, I'm Emma. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I am Billy Lawless, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she is a mystical adept who explores the dark places of the mind. I did it! Okay. Thanks for being here, everybody.
All right, and if Quinn is able, otherwise one of us can do it for her. Quinn's lost her voice, so we're going to keep her talking to a minimum.
Yes, hello. My name is Quinn. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Dr. Mesli Flores, who also uses she, her pronouns. She's a perceptive speaker who sees beyond the incalculable and can't talk right now.
Thank you so much, Quinn. I promise we will keep it minimal. And Metzley is going to be doing some typity typing, and we're going to make it work, folks. But before we pick up let's do the recap first. Who volunteered to do the recap? I vote Taryn.
I have been volunteered multiple times.
Oh,
but I will do it anyway. Oh, Anders.
Oh, Anders.
I've not done it. I hide from recaps, but I'll do it.
Do it.
Perfect.
Crap. Okay, so the crew of the SS Erebus. Yes?
Yep.
The six of us have been sent out into the far reaches of space to explore the source of a mysterious signal that made its way to Earth 5 years ago. This is why I don't do recaps. I get things wrong.
Yeah, you're bang on.
As we discovered the source of the signal, we discovered a strange egg-like object in the abyss of space. We entered into said object and have begun to slowly make our way down and into traversing various levels, reading and inserting our minds into alien technology, discovering secrets of our past, and horrible, terrible things about ourselves and each other, but also maybe some good feelings. In our last session, we spoke to a servant of Paimon. Mestley spoke to their deceased father through the use of an emerald tablet. We ventured deeper into the path that we're on and approached a room full of wisdom that both Billy and Kane sought out in different ways, a room full of mirrors that other people did not want to enter into. Upon leaving that room, we discovered a strange laboratory filled with nanites that took the form of Glitch's creator, and after another upsetting conversation with a father figure, Marcus punched the sad. And that's what happened.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. This is the best recap yet, Anders. I loved it. It was great.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. All right, so before we pick up with the punching the sad, let's roll that intro.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back, folks. So, we had left off outside of a room 5 on your map of the inverted pyramid, that I guess we could, at this point, call the goo room, where Marcus has just punched the lights out of some strange nanite goo constructed facsimile of Glitch's scientist father, for lack of a better term, or creator, potentially. And that's where we will pick off, because that is where we left off, outside of that room. So, what are you all doing?
Okay. So I think that if I remember correctly, Glitch left the room, correct?
Yes.
Did
Mhm.
did anyone follow him out there?
Yes.
Kane did. Okay, great. do we get the sense that the goo in the room is still dangerous, or do we not know?
I think like when Marcus puts his One Punch Man fist through the face of this replicated scientist, it sort of does that like replicator thing from like Stargate, where it sort of disintegrates into dust that like falls back down into the goo, which seethes. It sort of heaves and sucks down and devours all of these pieces and flakes back into itself, and it ripples outwards and then sort of grows still again after, a few seconds.
I don't like that.
What else is in this room?
Boy, howdy.
Just wanna-
Yeah, so for a refresher, let me get to the right page.
Bad room, y'all.
So
Bad.
the room had this very biomechanical nature to it in terms of the walls. They're ribbed. The walls are not smooth. They have like a texture to it, a sort of fleshy texture. It very much has that sort of alien-esque, H.R. Giger designed this room sort of feel to it. There are workbench tables. There are things that sort of resemble gurneys, but not wheeled, like tables, but that look designed to accommodate the body of one of these Martians. I guess now, as you now know them, the Silanese. There are canisters of like nanites around the room. There are some devices that look kind of like the lab. And there are also these like umbilical like ports, like what you had found in the library. So there are elements of both sort of the library room and the laboratory room. And I think at least to Dr. Flores, part of this looks almost, like the difference between a lab and a hospital. Like this looks much more like a medical space. Dr. Flores, can I intrude? Who would you like to give the other XP to? All right. Excellent. All right, so you can go ahead and both of you can mark an XP.
For those of you following along at home, that would be Billy Lawless.
That is correct. Thank you, Anders. Dr. Flores, you look down, so, you sort of looking in the room, and you notice that a tendril of this goo had seeped out of the room and washed over your boot. And as you're watching, it sort of wriggles, and you realize that it has penetrated your suit and wormed its way in, and you can feel it sort of slithering up. And before you really have a chance to do anything, it crawls up the side of your face and starts washing over your mouth, and you can feel it wriggling and writhing and reshaping the flesh until your mouth becomes sealed over. Excellent. And so probably somebody notices this, and I'm sure Dr. Flores is in a bit of a panic. Yes. Quinn has indicated that Metzley is flailing.
I think that I would probably then run over and awkwardly like look into your mask, but also your soul. And then I'm going to probably not actually put my hands on your the helmet. God. The helmet, but like hover them nearby and then like slowly turn to everybody else and say, I think we have a situation.
Like the goo, because that is a decent situation, points towards the floor.
I think we should all try to I want you just to I'm gonna ask us to breathe, but Metzley doesn't have a like a mouth right now.
Sorry, what?
She seems okay otherwise. Can you breathe? Okay, good. Are you panicking? Okay. You're the only one who knows how to handle that, I think. So
So Mesley can't talk to us and tell us things now?
yeah.
How's that any different?
I'm sorry, what?
How's that any different from what Mesley was already doing?
Well, prior to not having a mouth anymore, she could choose to tell us. Now it's very, very hard for that to happen.
All right, I hate to interrupt the conversation here, but we need to figure out a way to get Metzley a form of communication with the rest of us. Does anyone have an old school paper or some sort of like drawing tablet or something that we can use to
Every
pull out my
doctor pulls out like a grimoire.
Yeah.
Can I program Frankie to like Mesley can like type a message in and Frankie can speak for Mesley because paper really, y'all?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was gonna pull out an actual like real ass tablet and hand it to her, but paper's fine.
Metzley was glaring at Glitch, by the way, after the dig. So yeah, no, absolutely, Glitch, you can do that. I think it's a relatively straightforward task to reprogram Frankie to do that. Let's go through the. Well, we'll see if you have to roll dice. You might get it down to 0. I'd say this is like a level 3 programming task.
Okay. I don't remember how to do this.
So what do you? Let's start with skills. What do you have for skills with programming?
Hacking and computers, and also ship engineering.
Okay, so computers definitely apply. And are you trained or what's the specialized? Whatever the next level up is.
I'm trained.
Okay, so that's 1. So that takes it down from a level 3 to a level 2.
Okay.
And you have some relevant equipment, I believe, as well. So that would be an asset. So that's another 1. So that brings it down to a level 1 task.
Okay.
And I mean, if you wanted to spend a level of effort, that would knock it down to 0.
I think I can roll okay and not.
Okay. Yeah. So 3 or higher is all you need.
11.
Perfect.
I did it.
Yeah. So like you hammer in a few commands. You like jury rig a little software translation in Frankie. Does Frankie say it in Frankie's voice, or does Frankie mimic Metzley's voice?
if it's my choice, it'll be Frankie's voice. But
Okay. I can't really imitate Dr. Flores's voice, but I can do Frankie. All right, perfect.
Question: has Dr. Flores put the thing in Frankie yet? No.
No.
Okay, just checking because
Yeah.
just curious.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
we will say that, of course, as a matter of course, since Frankie is speaking for Dr. Flores, Frankie is like hovering
Yeah.
right off of Dr. Flores's shoulder pretty much the
Just-
entire time.
Just curious if we're giving Dr. Flores unabated access to something that.
Thanks for the reminder.
You're welcome. I'm a shit stir. It's fine.
All right. And yeah, after they finish, and Metzley, I will say, like, obviously it's uncomfortable having your flesh reshaped, but it didn't actually hurt. There was no pain. And after it finishes, they sort of, it seems like they like sort of have spent their energy and they sort of like dry and like just kind of flake off and just get sucked up by the recycling system in your suit.
well, so that's one problem dealt with and improved upon.
The shade glitch. Damn.
Yeah.
He's in a bad mood. Is there anything in that room we need? Or is there a way to get where we're going without going through there?
Frankie, by the way, speaks up and says, "If you'd like to say something to me, Glitch, you can say it to my face. Thanks."
I don't respond.
Can we have this fight when one of us has a mouth back and we're not in the middle of a dangerous egg goo, please?
Personally, I'm liking the power balance right now. It's normally the other way around in therapy, so I'm just saying.
And Frankie says, "I'm standing right here. You want to see power?"
Goo room.
All right.
Goo room, let's go.
Wait.
I'm against the goo.
Damn second, please.
No, we're not walking into the goo room. I'm thinking analyze the goo room. It just
Okay.
took Metzley's mouth.
Yes.
I think that's a good reason to not go near the goo room,
Lawless.
as we called it.
Billy.
You're
Thoughts?
muted.
I have them, yes.
This particular situation.
Well, just a question. Which room is it that we're in?
We're in room
You're-
5.
You're outside
5.
room. Yeah, just outside room 5.
Oh, the disease. Got it.
Ah.
Okay. Oh man, this is delightful. Sorry. Okay. It's just so good. Okay. Well, I mean, everything is going as expected for a room that is associated with this particular individual in here. I mean, and I look over at Metzley and I'm like, I mean, he can change people into other shapes, so this is accurate.
And there was a, "Is it delightful, Billy? Is it?" I am very aware.
Well, I'm sharing with the class currently. So if we don't have to go through this room, that might be a wise decision. However, Marbus sort of knows about wisdom and knowledge and information. So if anybody ever has any questions they'd like to ask, now would probably be the time to do it. Or we can forever hold our peace.
Or we could go someplace a little less body altering.
I think this room has said enough, in my personal opinion.
Have we gone to the 6th room yet?
Yes.
Yeah, I think the only one you haven't been to yet is 2 and 3. And
Two.
and one the second 1/9.
We haven't gone to 2.
And the-
2 is Agaris, pertaining to maps, travel, and finding the way. That's
And
my suggestion.
languages.
That is where I think we should go there.
Can I make an observation real fast? I think we should think about what this place is trying to do by silencing Metzley. It clearly could have taken any of us.
I mean, not all of us stabbed an information crystal into our abdomen twice
That's
and have a lot of information power going through their minds that, with the greatest respect in the world, has not entirely been shared.
Looking pointedly at
Yeah.
her.
I think maybe it was trying to further inhibit that, maybe. This place seems to put up walls.
Frankie says, on behalf of Dr. Flores, I was waiting for the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this isn't helping anything. So
Which, frankly, was about now.
yeah.
So we have a line of communication. Metzley, I think this place knows, for a better lack of a better way to put it. And I think we should find some space and what's the word I'm looking for here? Not
Talk?
declassify. Yeah, I was looking for the more, military term for it, but never really been words. Yeah. Yeah.
There is nowhere in this place where we could talk and not have it be overheard.
I'm not expecting it not to be overheard. I'm just want to get us to a point where we can feel somewhat more comfortable and maybe more mouths don't start getting closed.
And Frankie says, against my better judgment, I agree with Glitch.
And how does that make you feel, Dr. Flores?
Glitch. I think a half a step back would be good.
So Dr. Flores is moving past Billy.
Where towards?
I'm not sure.
Glitch.
Oh no.
Glitch.
I'm gonna go put my imposing figure between the two.
I'm gonna go join that.
I'm just gonna put a hand up between each. All right. Glitch. I know things are getting dicey right now. Can you please work down the tone just a little bit? If we need to have a conversation about what you saw and how that's affecting you, that can be done, but I don't think you need to take it out on anybody. Even if you are making a few valid points, we did say we were going to give Metzley some time to make space and talk about it when she was ready. And frankly, I would like to get as far away from this goo room as possible. So let's talk and walk.
I will turn around and start walking, but slowly, because I don't know where we're going.
I will take the lead then.
All right.
Okay.
I have the map.
And we are going...
On route to 2, unless anyone has any other particulars.
No, I'm oh, yes, Billy.
Sorry. As we're leaving the room, Billy's going to be flipping through her grimoire and like flipping back and forth and checking her notes. And she's going to like kind of stop. Hey, long shot.
Yeah.
Did you get any counsel while you were in there? I'm just wondering if you asked any questions about anything at all.
Yes.
Okay.
I asked some questions. I also may have threatened to kick its ass.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an approach. Okay, that's fine. I'm only curious if you happen to glean any information in there that could be useful now, because he often, well, the lore is that those who were seeking something, be it knowledge or items or things that they wished to steal, would seek him out. And so I'm just wondering if there's any information that you gained that might be useful to us, in case we wanted to perhaps steal something.
He said we were on a path. He said a lot of things. We're on a path. We'll get to the end. They seem to think we're gonna lose. I disagree. But in terms of asking about things we could steal, well, we already stole a tablet of the dead. Are you talking metaphorical stealing souls, or are we talking physical tablet of dead?
No, I was talking about power.
Oh yeah, it was given. I mean, technically. Not really.
No information about individuals who are here, how long they've been here, why we're here, things that are here. People.
I asked them why we're here. I mean, it's a demon entity. Their whole brand seems to be not giving straight answers. So it gave me the runaround of, oh yeah, we've been watching you since Mars. And I was like, great, can you give me like a straight, solid answer? And he offered me really nice poetry sound and words. They just said, it's nothing we don't really already know. We know there's a king here. Wouldn't tell me how long they've been here, just eons. I'm trying to remember. Val is trying to remember everything I learned. So that's why I'm like, man, what did I learn? Yeah, I'm just a lot of... Something's got answered.
All right. Emma would like to ask a question. I am reading through my notes about the Black Goat of the Woods, and I'm trying to recall at
Oh,
what point
yeah.
that came out. That's what I'm trying to. Did that come from the Kane conversation?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
I relay that.
Great. Okay, got it. At which point, Billy's going to literally stop and start furiously writing in her notebook.
I relay everything from that conversation that I learned. I don't tell you about the offer.
Okay, perfect. But you do mention the Black Goat of the Woods.
Yeah.
Really? He said the Black Goat of the Woods. The
Yeah.
Black Goat of the Woods.
The Black Goat of the Woods. And about the children of the Black Goat. And some of us were prepared for their arrival beforehand. Oh, Dan, you're muted.
Dan, you're muted.
Metzley is elephant leaning against Billy.
Billy
when
is.
When the Black Goat of the Woods gets named.
I'm going to lean back and like crane my head around and like side eye in a cult. Okay. So that might be something to consider here. Perhaps. In the distance, a wolf howls.
Who brought a dog to space?
There's no dogs allowed on the moon.
No dogs on the moon. Why is that something to consider? Exactly.
Metzley's, Frankie, on behalf of Metzley, says, I'm assuming it tried to make a deal with you, Kane?
For what? Secrets? No, it gave them pretty readily.
I don't know. They do that sort of thing.
How would you know they do that?
I'm imagining Metzley. I've read a book.
Uh-huh. They honestly were pretty forthcoming. Just offered a bunch of information. A lot of it I didn't understand, but... So what is the Black Goat?
Which they will be if they want something.
I don't know what to tell you, Metzley.
Can I ask an uneducated question? The Black Goat in the Woods. What does that mean?
Black Goat of the Woods with 1,000 young. Shub Niggurath, the Nameless Mist, the All-Mother, the Beginning. Technically, she's from Lovecraft's mythos, but... excuse me.
Oh!
Technically.
Technical barf.
No, it's
No
good. It's a nice
apologies.
change of pace for the intense horror that is Project VHS.
She's like, actually.
Let me tell you.
Well, actually.
Exactly. She is from Lovecraftian mythos, but she was modeled after... You know when you hear about one deity who is modeled after this deity, who was modeled after this deity, who is supposedly this other deity, you can sort of think of her like that. She comes from a Greek version of a Middle Eastern goddess who is the form of a Sumerian goddess, but it all goes all the way back down to the primordial goddess of Venus, who is associated with the worship among the Canaanites, who worshipped King Baal.
And And the children of the Black Goat are the ones who worship King Baal, or...
Well, that's where everything gets kind of muddy. Because nothing was really recorded or written down in ways that were well preserved, really. Oh. Oh.
You're talking spooky stuff. The upbeat music wasn't working.
Frankie said a thing.
Oh, yes, Frankie pipes up for Metzley. The king we have suspiciously heard no mention of thus far, referring to Baal.
The one who is supposed to be the first. King Baal is technically the first. However, who do we see listed or associated with the first?
Amon.
Correct. And so I will look over to Ava. We've seen what happens when there are competitions of worship and belief systems. We've seen what happens when people meddle with power. We've seen what happens when something wants power. And if someone believed King Baal to be the false god, and we don't see him here, but we sure do see echoes of something.
Well, that's Frankie. About that, there was a warning about a king who wasn't named that I had been attributing to the king in yellow, but it's possible they could have meant who we assume is the first.
A warning?
Technically.
I'm gonna walk directly up to Metzley. And I'll put this on comm so that everybody can hear it. Yeah, you with the face, but with no mouth. I think this is going to be the time where the rest of us are going to shut up and listen to the information that one ducky has chose to hold on to for whatever reasons. But I would prefer that we also don't see our own issue of power here in this group. Because we have all seen what happens when there is a competition for power. And you have nothing to prove, and there is nothing. And she'll just stop and lean back.
Metzley is clearly thinking. Frankie says, "One moment." Frankie says, on my behalf, while I wait for further input from Dr. Flores, there is something strange that has been bothering me. Information that you have received and that we have seen showed these beings here acting when the Martian archaeological site was activated, and doing so immediately, in the moment, while the scientists were still working. Is that not so, Dr. Delgado, what you observed? That the attack occurred when the machinery was turned on?
Yeah, for the most part.
We can debate the minutiae of instantaneously, but it was at the most mere moments, correct?
Yes.
This installation sits on the edge of the Oort cloud. A signal, the fastest signal we could send, the speed of light, the theoretical limit at which any information can travel through the universe, takes months, or rather a month, 28 days to be exact, to go from here to Mars.
How
It
did
takes
they
28
know?
days to go in the reverse. Without breaking fundamental laws of physics as we know it, it would be impossible for a signal to transmit from Mars to here and back again in anything less than 56 days. Metzley says the veil is thin here. Time and space are irrelevant. That may be so, Dr. Flores, but this would constitute new physics or stranger aspects and interpretations of quantum mechanics than have been yet postulated.
Frankie, I would like to point out this entire establishment is kind of breaking any established rules we've had about anything.
Not
Well, so far nothing at that level has been broken. Everything here could.
It's
at
not
least in
beyond the realm of
principle.
possibility, though.
but there's still science in all of this.
Could just be new science.
I don't disagree. I merely pointed out that this would radically alter what we think about fundamental issues of reality.
I think this is very old science, if we're being concise here.
Frankie, there's no way instant communication could occur between a being here and a being on Earth if the laws of physics that we understand as laws are true remain true, correct?
That is correct.
Then that signal that triggered everything that happened on Mars didn't come from here.
So Metzley is typing furiously, and Frankie switches back to Metzley communication mode. I met something wherever I went.
Ella is so talkative tonight.
Baby.
Yeah, she's in the hallway yelling.
Sweet baby.
Yeah, she's doing this thing where she leaves the room and goes into the bathroom to yell. I don't know. Frankie
Same
continues.
mood.
It called itself the Eye, and it knows a hell of a lot, and I don't quite understand it. And I wanted more time to consider, but here we are.
So-
I
That feeling of like being watched that I'm assuming someone else has had could
Yeah.
be literal is what I'm gathering. Don't mind me, that's just my coffee pot turning off.
There have been a lot of sounds from the void tonight.
Fine.
The void is chatty this evening.
I wonder, Doctor, if perhaps you had shared right away if 5 minds could take some time to consider something rather than just one. If we might know more now.
It doesn't really matter now, does it? Sorry, my inflection on that was wrong. It doesn't really matter now, does it?
I thought you said time and space was a relative here.
I think Dr. Metzley is just staring at Glitch. Quinn should add a sign called Judgmental Stare.
Where's that confirmation ding from?
I don't need the sign for that one.
Yeah, that's true. The ding was just
Bong.
sorry. But I don't think we can choose to redo or go over what's been done. I think we have to respect Metzley's choices.
We can... Look, everyone's pissed. And that's fair. Glitch is pissed. And Glitch has a right to be pissed. We all have a right to feel exactly how we want to feel. But the point is, it doesn't change anything. And it doesn't matter now. What matters now is that Metzley has told her. She has shared the information. And now we just have to decide what we're going to do about everything in here. The goop, the eye, the things that are watching us, the black goat, the false king. And Glitch is right. We're going to need 5 minds to figure this out.
There are 6 of us, aren't there?
6 minds.
There are 6.
I don't
Marcus is
count.
like-
I just drive.
That there are 6 of us, right?
I don't count. I just drive.
There's currently 7 over here.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
good. I am on.
An 8 with Frankie. Really, we should. Numbers are not our forte.
No.
I mean, numbers are kind of my forte.
You guys, you get what I'm saying.
Can I just kind of start to put my hand into the wall? Because it does that now.
Absolutely.
We also have a new comment from Metzley.
Oh, yes. Metzley via Frankie. It's an impartial observer for the most part. The eye. I don't deem it a threat by my estimation.
So the nanites of my hand will sort of break apart and become part of the wall, and the hand appears to kind of like sink in, though that's not technically what's happening. And I'd love to use a special ability here, if I could.
Yes, absolutely. Tell me
Um,
more.
You see, I have this special ability called mechanical telepathy,
Mm-hmm.
where my nanites can talk to other machines.
Mm-hmm.
Can I listen
gonna-
to see if I can find this eye?
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a relatively difficult challenge.
Okay.
But so I am going to set this at an 8.
Okay.
So let's start getting together what you got.
Taryn. Okay. Do I get anything with the ability? Does that do anything? Or does that just make it possible?
Yeah, the ability is basically making it possible. Well, tell me actually, what's the description of your machine telepathy?
By touching a thinking machine, you gain access to its surface thoughts.
Oh, okay. All right. So you when you put your hand into the wall, I'll tell you what you get for free just by spending your intellect and activating the ability. So as your hand sinks in, you do feel data streams pulsing through the wall. What is odd is that in a human engineered system, these would be going through like discrete wires, right? Conduits, data streams,
Paths.
through fiber optic cable, behind the wall. The wall still feels like stone, but the data streams through it diffusely through the whole thing. There is no separate cabling or anything like that. Absolutely every surface is capable of carrying data. And the surface thoughts, of course, that stream by you are alien in nature. But you get the sense of everything is watching and everything is on high alert.
Can I try to dig deeper?
Absolutely. So that's where this will be a level 8 challenge to sort of like reach through the data stream and get the eye. So, a level 8 challenge. So of course that's impossible, but we can get it down to possible. So what do we have? So you've got some I'm going to give you an asset for the sense that you're like intimately in touch with this data stream. So your maximum asset level is 2, and I'm going to give you that. So that drops it down to a 6.
Okay.
And what do you have for skills?
I am skilled in nanites.
You are skilled in nanites, yes. Or skilled or specialized, or trained or specialized?
I think I'm just trained.
Okay, so that would be 1 level.
Okay.
So that would bring it down to a 5. Yes, Ella.
And then can I
And then you can
expend
spend effort. Yeah. How many levels of effort in intellect can you spend?
Well, I have 3 effort and I have an edge of 3 in intellect.
Yep. So 3 levels of effort would cost you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then minus the 3.
So 4.
4.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. So that takes you down to a 2. So you only need to roll a 6 or higher.
Did we raise the stakes? Is that a thing that we've done?
Not yet. It went back down to a 1.
Oh, okay, good, because I rolled a 2.
Okay. So you have failed, But now remember, you can spend 1 XP to re-roll a dice if you wish. Or you can also just do a straight retry, but then you spend a level of effort just to retry.
I'm kind of really interested to know what the consequences of failing this are gonna be. Not gonna lie. I will spend a level of effort to reroll, if I may.
Well, to re-roll, it's just 1 XP, right?
Or yeah, how?
Well,
how...
so you can spend an XP to re-roll a dice roll.
Okay.
So you can just do that.
Okay.
Or if you don't want to spend the XP, there's like retrying an action. So like
I
there's
don't
there's
have
two different
any
approaches.
XP right now.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
So what does it cost me? I'm sorry.
So it costs you a level of effort just to do to retry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm sorry.
on top of like, so obviously like your skills and assets still apply, right? But you're gonna retry. So you spent points already from the previous roll. So now just to retry, you have to spend a level of effort.
Okay.
Right? But that level of effort doesn't impact the difficulty.
Okay. So then I
Right.
would then have to spend those things again.
Yes, but you could only spend 2, so the difficulty is going to increase.
Got it.
Right? Because because 1 level of effort doesn't apply. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna.
So you spend another 4 points of intellect.
Got it. Okay.
2 levels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. I followed that. We got there.
Yeah. So the difficulty is 3, so you need a 9 or higher.
Watch me roll a 1, y'all. 17.
Okay. Excellent. So it takes extra time, and you expend some of your nanites in the initial attempt. It feels like they were blocked, almost like an immune system reacting to your presence, like the native nanites reacting to your slightly different ones. But you push through, and as your nanites kind of course through the data stream, you find almost like a cube in the heart of the pyramid. And there is data streaming in and out of it. And you get this sense of massive amounts of data stored inside the cube. But as you think about it, as you perceive its shape, it's not stored, it's imprisoned. And you can sense the walls of this thing, and it was staring inward at itself. But as you perceive it, an eye rotates outwards until it is staring at you. And it opens. And a voice kind of ripples back through the data stream and echoes its way back up to you. Oh, well, hello there, Glitch. That is what you prefer to be called, is it not?
For now. I suppose you have something you prefer to be called as well?
You can call me the Watcher.
If it was anyone else on this crew, that would mean something, but...
No, it's merely a title. titles, names.
They only mean something if we decide they mean something.
It's true, but once one inhabits a title, an archetype, a role for long enough, it's like filling a container. Eventually you take on its shape. So, I am the Watcher.
Are you Dr. Flores' eye?
Yes. My conversations with Dr. Flores were most enlightening.
And what does Dr. Flores want, Watcher?
What does anyone want? Information, knowledge, power?
And Dr. Flores wants information, knowledge, and power?
Of course. Isn't that what you want?
Not really, no.
Did you not place yourself here in order to gain information and knowledge? You came looking for me after all.
You're Data, aren't you?
Well, bits, bobs, ones and zeros. Does that make me any less real?
No.
I thought not. I think I have sufficient complexity to consider myself a person. After all, what are those? What is DNA but code? I merely inhabit a different space.
You know, the thing about code is you change one little number, you rewrite one letter, and it doesn't work the way you want it to anymore.
That's quite true.
I think I've learned everything I need to know from you, So I'm gonna go now. Unless you want to, tell me more about what you told Dr. Flores, or maybe what Dr. Flores told you.
Oh, well, that wouldn't be nearly so entertaining, would it? You know, there are lots of minds in here that I watch over. Millions of them.
And what would happen to them if you suddenly weren't there?
Oh, if they were unobserved, unwatched. Oh, that would be interesting.
Wouldn't that be more interesting than just hiding secrets from a couple of humans walking around?
Well, I would have to no longer be watching. And that's not something that I can do of my own volition. I am the Watcher after all, so I must watch.
Well, then I think we're done here. But thank you. It's an improvement. What you did back there.
Well. Oh, that. Oh, that wasn't me.
No? You don't all
No.
communicate all your little signals together? That's sure what it feels like in here.
No. I merely watch and observe.
Well, pass
I
on my
am-
thanks then.
I am merely a mind. But those other entities that inhabit this place, well, they're something far different.
They're souls, right?
They are souls in the way that the sun is merely a bright light in the sky. Mortal souls flicker like candles, but these beings burn bright or dark.
And you're not a soul?
No.
Well, pass on my thanks. Dr. Flores is a lot better when she's quieter. And I will pull myself out of the wall.
All right. And
Ow.
Glitch, as you pull your hand out, the wall, which was stone, all around you in the corridor as you've been walking, turns glassy and dark, but you can see bits of light streaking through in the direction that you were walking.
Well, so to not be a giant hypocrite, the eye, or the watcher, is tuned to us, is on very high alert, and there is a prison of minds at the center of this, and I think that's where we're ultimately headed.
Billy will slowly look up from the journal that she has been staring intently at, that Metzli had written on just moments before while Glitch was in the wall, and look up. Did you speak to them, Glitch?
To the minds or to the eye?
The eye.
Yes. We can't thank them for that. That was not them. And I'll just point to Mestily.
I
That
know.
was somebody else.
I guess what we can thank them for now are the copies that they have of you and Metzli.
Oh, they have a copy of me now. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Good for them. I'm already somebody's copy, and they probably already have it on file.
I would guess you're the only one who is like you. You're the
Well-
only one with your brain and your mind and your decisions and your choices.
Your experiences, Glitch, you're not a copy. There are...
No, I
Remember-
am literally a copy. Like someone took DNA and copied it and grew me in a test tube.
Is that anything different from twins or triplets or... I don't see why that makes you insignificant. Because it definitely doesn't to this thing, and it definitely doesn't to this group.
Glitch, I'm not saying they have a copy of you, as in your body, as in whatever it is that you are made of. I'm saying they have an identical copy of your brain, of your mind, of the choices that you will make, of the decisions that you want to make, of your voice, of the internal parts of you. And she didn't say anything because she didn't want them to have any more copies. Because they didn't ask. Now, if we're going to make it through this, then we're going to have to work together. And if we're going to make it through this, then we're going to have to channel any of the pain and any of the rage that we have into something other than each other. And frankly, I didn't come out to the edge of this solar system to die or to be left here. Maybe in the beginning I did. I will admit that. But we're going to leave this place together.
Frankie pipes in on behalf of Metzley. I have been trying to keep us safe.
They're walking down the hallway.
And put a hand on Glitch's shoulder.
I'm
Just-
going to make it so that Marcus's hand starts to fuse through
Yeah.
me and I can keep going.
Just let him. We have had no break, no time to process. Just let him process what is happening.
So as you continue Aaron Sorkining down the hallway, thanks for I think it was other dog who said to the Sorkin reference earlier. But as you continue walking and talking down the hallway, the lights that are swirling around start converging on a doorway, and the doorway is composed of swirling stars that resolve into the Milky Way galaxy, revolving like a giant map. And we're gonna take a brief break. So stick around, folks. But we're gonna take a few minutes and settle ourselves and have a little break. And we will be back in a couple of minutes. So we'll see you soon. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't work my hotkeys for a second and get the audio back on. Welcome back, everybody, to Project VHS as we return to our endeavors through the void. So we will pick up where we left off, in front of a door. I finished doing some recropping on Windows. So yes, there is a door with a swirling Milky Way galaxy on it.
Is there a handle?
Is it a door or a
No.
doorway, like a portal?
Yeah, so there's a door frame, and there is a slab of material, this glassy stone-like material, with this Milky Way swirling on it. But there is no obvious like handle or anything.
All right, so it's that or goo. I'm gonna walk up to it. Fucking Emma with the popcorn.
Yeah, and the Milky Way keeps slowly turning.
Is this? Oh, Quinn has a question about this door.
Yes, a GM question on whether any pings to her mental keys, and the answer is no.
I lost my question. Nope, I got it again. Okay, so is this is this door in particular? Is this the one that leads to where we want to go? As in, like,
Absolutely.
I will step up next to Glitch, who I assume is next to the door.
Would you like to go first, Doctor?
No, but
Can
she'll reach
I?
forward anyway to touch the door.
I'm going to prop my shield.
As you touch the door, you feel this pulling sensation. And as if you're being like pulled forward and in to the door.
Do we see this?
Potentially. The question is first whether Eva resists this pull or not.
Okay. Okay. Here's what it looks like. So there is this feeling of something pulling on her hand, and there's this look of intense fear on her face, and she'll turn towards Glitch. And then she'll turn back to the door and then just allow it to happen.
Okay. So as you're pulled forward, Dr. Delgado like physically shrinks and like stretches and is like pulled into the swirling Milky Way galaxy.
Marcus is charging, yelling Ava, just like full sprint at the door.
And as you hit it, like head first,
Shield first.
shield first. I need you to make a might defense roll as you like hit it.
Okay. My defense is something I am trained in, possibly expertised. So I need to look over all of my warrior shit. Let's see. Yes, trained in might defense. So yes, that I got that from level 2. See, my shield doesn't help with that. It helps with armor. I have a thing if I am tough as nails when impaired or debilitated. Might-based task and defense roll eased. Not really important
There you go.
now, but
Yep. Well, that does ease it.
yeah, okay. So
Yep. So essentially, it's 2 levels.
Yeah.
You don't know what the level is in this case.
Let me check my stuff on.
Would you spend levels of effort in might?
That's what I'm checking. I have currently 12 might, but I have an edge of 3, so I basically can spend a level for free.
You can spend a level for 3. Yep.
So,
all right.
so
So
that
you've
drop at
reduced
3.
the challenge by 3 levels. Yeah. Go ahead and roll a dice for me. Excellent. Okay.
No.
This is
So-
the worst time for this, and
This
I
is
love
the
it.
best time.
Marcus hits shield first into the door, and the door, made of this glassy stone substance, cracks and shatters as Marcus hurtles through it into a room beyond, which is initially dark, but then begins to light up as like lights click, 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 click on.
Y'all, this is not great.
And Eva's not there, right?
And Eva is not there.
Oh no! Oh no!
Let's pan the camera to Ava.
So describing the room a little bit though first. The floor is like polished, smooth, and reflective, and you can see the Milky Way swirling on it. And there is all of this like structural tubing around the room, and a large spherical object rests in the middle in this like tubular cradle. You get that like orrery, right, sort of vibe going on, and it is like a crystalline sphere swirling with motes of starlight just swirling through it in an indistinct pattern. But as the camera pans and cuts to Eva, you find yourself standing on a flat plane of the Milky Way. Thank you so much, Swordsfall. Really appreciate that. Thanks for stopping by. So Eva, yeah, you are standing on the like plane of the ecliptic of the Milky Way. You are giant. You can stride across stars as it is laid out like a map beneath your feet. One star pulses with a purple light.
I turn around to see first if there's a door behind me.
There is no door.
Excellent. I walk towards the purple star. Where in the galaxy is this purple star?
Well, let's do an intellect task for this.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say like it's somewhat challenging. This is, let's call it a level 6. It's very difficult, but not impossible. But what knowledge do you have to bring to bear on cosmology?
On cosmology? Well, okay. Okay. I have not a lot.
That's okay.
I do have the special ability called Curious, which is whenever I use effort to attempt navigation, perception, or initiative tasks, I can apply an additional effort for free, which is not applicable right now. But I do
think
have.
It is.
Is it perfect? That is something
navigation.
I have.
This
Oh,
is
that's
navigation
real
would
good.
apply here.
Awesome.
It's a map.
Okay. Oh, hang on. Well, okay, I also have something else that can potentially be more thematically appropriate called Find the Way.
Ooh.
Which again involves applying effort and getting free effort, but it's specifically a navigation task because I don't know the way, are lost, or are attempting to blaze a new route or route.
That sounds appropriate.
Yeah. Marcus. Okay.
I was on like 8 different screens trying to find stuff.
Okay. Well. So is this, what am I doing? Help, my brain is everywhere. Okay, so I have that.
So I think you're spending some effort.
I am spending some effort. I have 3 of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points minus your edge.
Which is
And
3.
if you're using it, yep. So how many level of effort can you spend?
I can spend 3. I have 3 effort total. I have 3 edge in intellect.
Okay, excellent.
Those are the things I have.
Okay, so that would be 4 points, but 1 is actually free, right? So you're only spending one point of intellect to do 3 levels of effort.
Woo!
So that brings it from a 6 to a 3. So you only need 9 or higher on the dice.
I'm so scared. Okay. Okay. How does a 15 sound?
Sounds perfect.
Sweet.
That is the star that you've seen before on a map of the Milky Way, on the opposite side of the Milky Way galaxy from Earth. You saw a map before that referenced the Martians, the Celanese.
So I'm assuming that's where we are, is what I'm gonna assume. Maybe. No, hang on. Thinking.
Is that the logical conclusion that I'm making? Is that this is like a "you are here" beacon, or not? Or this is,
well.
Hang on, hold up. I think I got this. So back when we were transmitting, like at the very, very beginning, and they sent us coordinates that were the other side of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this that?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Oh, I have a random question, and this doesn't pertain to literally anything. Am I in my spacesuit? Do I still appear to be me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. It's very comforting. Okay. I don't know what to, I will walk over to that star, I guess.
Okay. So for everyone else in the room, the crystal sphere starts rotating. And the tubes move as it like rotates through patterns. And the starlight sort of swirls into the middle of the sphere and condenses and resolves into a humanoid shape made of starlight. Welcome to the map room. You may call me Agaris. You seek to walk the paths of the stars. Do you know what is hidden from you?
Question.
Yes.
Is this a room that only Marcus is in, or that everybody...
Well, assuming whether everyone else has walked in or not, I'm not sure. But if they're otherwise, they're just standing outside the door. Marcus sort of just like Kool-Aid Man through the door.
I didn't
Or-
sort of. I definitely Kool-Aid Man
Did.
the
Yeah,
door.
or Captain America through the door.
Yeah, whichever. Where is she?
Ah, yes. We are interfacing. We'll
What
make this
does
conversation easier.
you give her back to me? Not
Oh.
losing anyone else.
That sounds like a threat, Marcus.
It's not a threat.
Let me guess, it's a promise.
No. It's the truth.
Tell me, Marcus, what's in it for me?
Whatever you want.
At this point, Billy's gonna put her hand on Marcus's shoulder with his consent.
Sorry, no, Jessie and chat put outer face her, and that just got me really good. Marcus sort of shrugs off both hands.
Don't make a deal with something you do not understand.
You don't have to understand. It's
You
Eva.
do need to understand, Marcus. First of all, she's fine. She's okay. Take a deep breath here. Because any pact you make here will take her. And right now, you need to be smarter than your rage.
I'm also like physically shaking. I'm fine, but
Okay, I'm aggressively eating popcorn.
And
Can-
Metzley is sliding in between Marcus and the globe.
Marcus is gonna look at Billy in the eye and then Metzley and her no mouth and just sort of kind of give you both a look of surrender and turn and sort of walk like back and forth, but is sort of disengaged at the moment.
Yes, Glitch.
May I, while all this is happening, I think watching Eva disappear might have pulled him out of his whatever little fit he was in there for a little while. Because this is a broken thing and he can fix that. We have seen glass things break and we have seen nanites put them back together in seconds. And he knows how nanites work. Can he put that door back together?
We can certainly try.
I think that's what's going through his head right now. It's like, I just fix.
Mm-hmm. All right. So how would you like to go about that?
So I think sorry, I'm just looking through my abilities. I think well, did the glass kind of do the like nanite thing where it just kind of or is it like
It's in like chunks.
I think he will start to pick the chunks up and realizing that he doesn't have any other nanites on him, use his to like put it back together if he can.
Okay. All right.
Because it's Eva.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I intrude here, Glitch?
Sure.
All right. Who would you like to give the other XP to?
Dr. Delgado.
Okay, perfect. So as you have this thought about using your own nanites to repair the door, And as you reach out and feel them crawl out of you and sort of swarm out of your hand and over these pieces, I'd like you to move one down the damage track for me, please.
Okay.
Down the wound track. As you sort of like sacrifice this substantial bit of yourself, sort of like giving blood. Seems about the right level. And as it pours and swirls over the glass and it starts to knit itself back together, let's cut back to Eva.
Hello.
So this pulsing star swells into a purple humanoid shape. Hello, Dr. Delgado.
Hello. Meow.
She's probably just going to go in the bathroom and yell more. Yep.
It's fine. We're all professionals here.
We're all very professional.
It's fine. We can do this. This is fine. Eva does not reply and just looks in abject horror.
Well, Dr. Delgado, I'm sorry to have pulled you here. Although you did come willingly. As I converse with you, I'm also conversing with your friends. This makes the exchange somewhat easier.
Are they okay?
Oh, they're fine. Rather concerned for you. Although I do intend to return you unharmed.
Where am I?
This is, how to describe it? A wrinkle in the manifold, shall we say? A little pocket. Things are close here. Consider this a liminal space. In between reality as you know it and my home.
You seem to know me already.
Well,
So who are you?
you have been traversing the path that has made much of you known to us. You can call me Agares. It's the name that I have been given. One name, anyway.
Okay.
Tell me, Dr. Delgado, what do you seek?
Thought you knew a lot about us already.
Well, it's a process.
I want to go home.
Well, I'm sure that is something that could be arranged.
I want to go home on my terms, not yours.
Well, I suppose you could just walk back to your ship. What's keeping you here?
I can't leave any of them behind.
Well, obligations. That's something that I understand. You could all choose to walk away. Nothing is keeping you on the path. Nothing besides yourself, anyway.
What kind of answers can you give?
Oh, I can give many answers. I speak many languages. The languages of the stars, the sun below, hidden things. This part of the path is a map, after all, and maps can show many things, both what is shown and what is unseen, hidden. If you have the perception to look.
I think she's just gonna look around, like at everything that's around her, and literally being surrounded by the universe as she knows it.
Would you like to see what it looks like? To my eyes.
It's tempting.
Well, what you think on that, as we cut back to the room, the door is slowly coming together. Glitch. As the pieces of glass reconnect and cement themselves together, you see motes of light start to slowly appear.
Marcus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You want to try to maybe touch it more gently this time?
I think I want to wait and see. I think they've got this handled. Clearly not in the right headspace. And Marcus is actually going to sit down and sort of just try to center himself.
So Agaris in the sphere. Glitch, thank you so much for repairing that door.
Yeah. And Glitch is like rubbing his arm where you can see there are like noticeable spots where the nanites are like trying to reform, but there's not enough of them. So it's like glitching almost.
Little bits of electricity sort of sparking. Well, I'm sure you all have questions. I do find the questions of mortals very revealing.
What if we didn't?
Well, then that tells me something too, doesn't it? The path is yours to follow.
Billy's gonna take a moment and do that inexplicable thing where she tries to reach inward to talk to her soul buddy. Or she will also take a moment to, well, she's probably going to try to do both that or take a look around the room to see if there's anything in here that she might not understand as just a mortal human standing in here, and if she gains any information.
Okay. I think, obviously with your magical senses, that sort of goes off. Everything sort of glitters with that ethereal quality. But otherwise, yeah, the constructed space is the constructed space.
Okay.
The focus seems to be everything's sort of tied together. I think you can get a sense of this energy diffusing throughout everything. But the door and the machine in the middle are sort of the focal points. Metzley, to answer your question with your sees the unseen, I think this room looks layered to you, as if someone in the forging of metal, layer upon layer upon layer, and all you see is the surface, but underneath, space has been folded and compacted on top of itself thousands and thousands of times over.
Woof.
And you can see in the middle, in this crystal sphere, it's a center point. But this figure stretches through all of these layers of space. And faintly in the distance, you see a faint speckle of stars smeared across your vision. And in one of these spaces, talking with this same Agares, very faintly, you can see Eva in the distance. The door is now completely healed and swirling with the pattern of the Milky Way. And Glitch, when you peer in, your eye is drawn to one star in particular, and it glows with a purple light.
I'm gonna go sit down by Marcus.
I'm gonna open comms to Billy. Hey, Billy. This might seem like it's too late, but can you see if they can do anything about the atmosphere? Make it so we don't need our suits. I want to be able to hold Ava when she gets back.
Billy will walk up to the Duke. So perhaps since you deal in maps of all kinds, you might already anticipate this, but and it may not actually be your department unless you kind of bend your mind in certain directions. For some reason, I was able to adapt to this place. I seem to be fine here.
Some help.
Thank you. I think I might need to thank somebody else about that. I'm not sure.
It's not my doing. But you carry a passenger.
Thanks, buddy. Is there any way we can adjust the atmosphere of this place or my friends?
Well, changing the atmosphere would be that would take a substantial effort, and I'm afraid it might damage things. But should you wish to walk the path unburdened and adapted as you are, well, that can be done. That gift I can bestow upon those who seek it.
And what's the price?
Well, all power comes at a cost. The judging eye is not always kind to those who accept the power of the void. It glitters with hard-edged light turned upon the soul, laid bare. It could find you wanting at the end of your path.
All right. We're gonna table that briefly. And I will swivel around in that spot and look at Marcus and say, think you might want to wait on this one.
I think you're right.
Of course, you do all realize these abilities you have begun to manifest in this place. Where do you think that comes from?
I don't think we're disillusioned. And Marcus is gonna stand up and turn around. That's it. That's all. If you're waiting for more, that was it.
One always walks a path to be judged, to avoid judgment, to seek shelter from judgment. Fate is in your hands.
I will swivel back to look at the Duke. Metzley has a message for the group.
Yes, so Frankie is like sort of, I guess Metzley is pointing and at what she sees, at what Metzley sees. But Frankie says, "Do you all see that, or is that just me?" It's the multi-layered. And for clarification, no, Metzley is the only one who sees it.
No. That's kind of cool, though. Whatever it is. Maybe it's terrible. I don't know. I didn't mean to assume.
Metzley, what do you see?
Metzley says, "You know." I'm assuming it's sort of relaying the... Yeah. So Metzley sort of relays this like layered description.
Oh. When she relays that, Billy, okay, turns around, walks up to the door, and she takes like a really deep breath, and she internally is attempting to steel herself against whatever it is that might be out there, and unknowingly creates this force field around herself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to use my force field barrier ability.
Yes.
Which creates an invisible energy barrier around a creature or object you choose within short range. Me. And the force field moves with the creature or object, and it lasts for 10 minutes, but it just gives me a +1 armor. And it costs
Okay.
3. And it costs 3 intellect.
All right.
I'm assuming I don't need to roll for this. I just do it.
You just do it. Yep.
Okay.
You spend the points. It happens, and you can see sort of this like faint glimmer over your limbs and body.
And I'm going to walk through the door.
Okay. Like into the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So you also feel this pull as you sort of come within proximity and touch.
Do I see Eva on the other side?
Well, so the question is, do you resist the pull?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm
so
going
similar
for
to
it.
Eva, you're sort of sucked in and find yourself striding across the Milky Way starscape gigantically as it sort of lays out below you like a carpet. And you can feel this draw and sort of see in the distance 2 figures, Eva and Agaras, conversing.
Well, I'm gonna walk over there. And like very casually just walk up next to Ava.
So as you're approaching, cut to back to Ava.
You said that
So
this.
there was, so there was the like, would you like to see it how I see it?
Yeah. You said this place is kind of not quite reality, right? Not as...
Oh, it's real, but it lies outside of your There's a pause. How do you describe it? Your space-time continuum. This place lies in between.
Kind of like a dream, right? In between waking and sleeping.
Indeed, liminal spaces hold power, meaning, potential.
Well, if this is like a dream, then I don't see any harm in it, right? None of this is
course.
actually real.
Well, everything is real.
Sure.
Would you like to see?
I would.
And Agara sort of just like passes their hand over your eyes. And as they do, your perception shifts. Things get deeper. There are more than 3 dimensions that you see within. The picture of the starscape becomes wrinkled and folded in upon itself in impossible angles and shapes, twisted and turned and wrapped about one another. There's a thin layer on the underside, as if someone took a ball of paper and sort of bundled it all up. And striated all through it, lying underneath it, cradling it, surrounding it, is something deeper and darker and blacker. There is this void that encompasses all of the reality you know, that sits nestled in all of the folds, and then in some places leaks out, or perhaps leaks in, depending on your point of view.
I think that she's kind of just staring at all of this, just like wide-eyed. And I think tears are going to start falling down her face as she takes all of this in. And she'll just kind of start shaking her head and say, I don't want it anymore.
And your vision sort of fades back into normal.
Guess I wasn't all the way wrong. My perception of reality isn't real. If this is true.
Your perception was real.
Was it true?
Just incomplete.
An incomplete truth is just as bad as a lie.
Well, some things just remain to be discovered.
But if you don't know they exist, how can you discover them?
Well, you've stumbled upon it now. You would have sooner or later. Science is a moving, well, your science is a moving target, after all. A model. Building towards a more complete picture. Dr. Lawless, how good of you to join us.
Hello.
Eva will just kind of stare, and there's this weird kind of like emptiness in her gaze, as if she's looking at a mannequin almost.
It you can touch me. Hello. Ducky.
Hi.
Well, this is nice. Out here, up here, down here, over, in.
Yes.
Okay. Ooh. Am I interrupting or
Not at all.
is this Ava? What's happening here in this moment?
I don't know exactly. Think some truths were shared. And she'll look at the other figure of Agaris, and will say, I have one more question. What really waits for us at the end of this path?
Well, that is a good question.
I would love a good answer to it.
If you desire to walk the path to its completion, you'll come to a door. Beyond that door lies the space between spaces, the door to the void, the sound of a thunderous silence, and you will have a choice.
Of what?
To accept it or not. Will you open the door? Will you close it? Will you pass through? These are for you to decide.
Do you have a map of the other side of the door?
In a manner of speaking, the void is a place of potential, of will. It is not traversed in the same fashion. It is a place of great power, but it is also a place that hungers.
This has been enlightening. But I want to go now.
Of course, by all means.
I look to where they gesture. There's nothing but the expanse of the Milky Way here.
Although you can see on the other side where you entered, where you think Earth should be, or rather its sun. The sun pulses with a soft golden light, like a beacon calling you across the expanse.
Billy. And then I start walking that direction.
All right. Back in the room, Marcus and Glitch are seated and meditating. Metzley is not sure. Hopefully not dying. But are the three of you doing anything in particular?
I'd like to open a private comm to Marcus if I can.
Yeah.
You really love Dr. Delgado, don't you?
It's kind of hard to put words to it.
Could you try?
Let's just say that sort of like you've got a bunch of rocks in a glass and you pour water in and it fills. That's what she does. I've got a lot of holes.
And is that what it always feels like?
I have no idea, Glitch. There's about a million different ways it could probably feel like, but I think it just depends on the person.
I've never felt anything like that for anyone.
You know, I hadn't really either.
Does it make you feel happy?
Glitch. Not sure what happy is, but content, if that's... It's... Happy is not the right word. I hurt too much to be happy, but content, yeah. You all help too. I don't think it's just Ava.
I will, if Marcus consents to it, put a hand on his shoulder.
Yeah, he consents. I think he kind of like lets the hand like rest there for a second and then just sort of like brings you in for like a shoulder hug. Hopefully he doesn't phase through you.
No, I think Glitch stays pretty solid, but
yeah.
Thank you for describing it to me, Marcus.
Anytime, Glitch. But not usually the one to talk about words.
I know, but I appreciate getting the chance to learn what it's like.
I think you'll get a chance later on. Don't worry. I still have hope.
So Frankie pipes up on behalf of Dr. Flores and asks, is this your prison, the place you watch from, or is it everywhere and nowhere all at once? And Agaris been just hovering there in the crystal ball, says, prison. No, not a prison. Although I am bound to this place. And Frankie says, and you're content with that? And Agaris replies, content is a good word.
Don't like that. Nope. Just have to say that one out loud.
It.
I personally love it also, but
And
So
Frankie
good.
then asks, did your king in yellow bind you? And Agaris replies, not in the way you think. This place is my essence. I was born to this, if one could describe something like myself as having been born. For I existed before these stars were born. Before this space and time that you inhabit was born. Unfathomably old. Before this crime you call reality was imposed on this. And this is about the time that Eva and Billy step out of the door.
Well, Billy doesn't leave with Eva.
Oh, okay.
It's me.
All right, so as Eva steps out of the door.
Marcus gets up and runs to her.
She's kind of like he just woke up from a nap, like a really like a nap. She's kind of like
a coma.
Like a coma. So nothing really registers for like a hot second.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Are you okay? As much as we can be okay in here.
No.
Just squeeze her tighter.
She just slowly reaches up and grabs on for dear life. And she cries because that is what she does. But it's a silent cry. Those who are outside can see that there are tears, but again, it's kind of like it's like she's lost in a different reality almost, and not really understanding why she's crying. Yeah, she'll stay there as long as he's holding her.
What's Glitch doing?
I'm watching Agaris.
Yeah, so when Agaris isn't interacting with you, the glowing humanoid form, it's essentially like a construct of light for all intents and purposes inside the sphere, gets a little fuzzy and indistinct, sort of unanchored, and goes kind of like still and sort of diffuse, and really doesn't do anything. It seems to really only be active when it is directly interacting with you.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Them.
Okay. What is Billy doing?
Billy actually, once she realizes that Ava is safe and fine because she said she was safe. Billy didn't know that. Takes a moment to recognize that her whole life she has been looking outward to the stars and up to the stars, and now she is standing in them. And she kind of actually becomes just like a bit overwhelmed and doesn't even see that Ava leaves because she's finally in the place she's been looking at for so long, for her whole life. And I think really quietly she'll say, do you get to just sit here in this? Is this where you exist?
No, this is merely a representation. This
It's really
space,
lovely.
it is, although I see it in much greater detail. Would you like to see what I see, Andromeda?
My pit just fell out of my body. My stomach. There are things happening in my body.
Your pit, huh? All right, Void Queen.
Oh fuck. Okay. Sorry, very visceral reaction there.
Nope. Fine.
Yes. Yeah.
And so they do the same thing that they did to Eva, right? And you see the same sort of thing.
Oh.
You've been catching glimmers.
Did we used to be able to see this?
Some can. Every once in a while, people are born with a little extra perception.
Have we forgotten, or did we just untrain ourselves?
No. None, unless they've accepted particular gifts, have ever seen the world quite this way. What you've experienced, that little extra something, things not quite there, seen only out of the corner of your eye, that's about the most a regular mortal mind has been ever able to bear. But even then, only 1 in a million, perhaps.
That's disappointing. But I guess reality is kind of disappointing too. I should go back to them. But thank you.
You're welcome. If you would like to retain something of this vision to sharpen what your passenger has bestowed upon you, intentionally or inadvertently, I can give that to you.
Yes.
then it is done.
Y'all, oh my god.
Hey, remember when we had a lecture about not making deals?
Listen, do as I say, not as I do.
This is fine.
This is all fantastic.
Yeah, no, this has been great.
But it's not. But it's also not.
Y'all,
But it's
this is-
also bad.
This is not bad,
This is not good.
but it's
I
not
mean-
bad.
It's just.
It's
is.
not
It's just
anything. We're
is.
bringing it back to the first episode. It's nothing right now. This is nothing. It's not anything. We don't know what this is. It's not. It's
Leslie, you put that paper down.
And Agaris just says, continue to walk the path. The power twists and turns and grows and blossoms as the roots wend their way through your soul, expanding, making you more, greater, your mortality stretching to contain the power inside. Grow or break. Oh, I think you're muted, Emma.
fuck. No, I'm not. It's here
Oh.
now.
Excellent.
Hello.
We could
Oh.
see it on web captioner anyway.
Great. She feels good, y'all.
All right. Does Billy step back through?
Yes, Billy. Well, Billy will actually, in a really uncomfortably awkward kind of way, she's trying really hard to be slick. She's gonna bow. And then she will walk back.
All right. And so as Billy emerges, that is where we will end for this week of Project VHS.
Face.
Oh,
I have missed space.
I have missed space.
Space.
I have missed
Nice.
you all so much.
Yes. Yes.
Me too. Obviously, we won't be here. No, wait. We're here
Not
next
thi-
week.
We're here
not
next
next
week.
week.
Next week.
The week
Here next week.
after.
We will not be here the week after.
The day after the Christmas time.
That's
That
right.
hollow day.
But we will.
Hollow
we'll be back-
day.
We will be back next week with episode 10. And yes, episode 10. But we are drawing close to the end
Nobody wants that, Dan.
of season 1.
Hey!
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Huzzah. This is all I've ever
Alright.
wanted. This is the Christmas present that I wanted to hear from Dan Gaston.
Merry Voidmas. One
Yay!
all right,
Void
so let's go
Tide.
through and yeah, Void Tide. And folks can say their goodbyes and their favorite moments, and anything you got to promote and shout out. So I'm sure Quinn might be able to manage a little bit. So whatever you can manage, Quinn, is sufficient.
Hello.
You can also type,
Oh,
and I
dear.
can read it, voice it for you later if you wish.
We can do
I-
the stuff that is obvious. Like this is Quinn. You
This
can
is
find
Quinn.
them at Quinn
At Quintastic
_ on Twitter
With 3 N's.
with
with
3
3
N's.
N's.
She streams and makes games.
She
You should
does.
check all those out. They're
She's
great.
fantastic.
They
She's
make
here.
Fantastic games.
They are very good. They are here on Thursdays. They're also in Grim Femmes on Mondays. And
They
it's
are.
great.
That's
It's very
And we'll
good.
be coming in January with Verdant Expanse.
Mhm.
Yes, and other
On-
things in January.
Verdant silence.
Verdant Silence, sorry.
We're a little,
Expands.
little
It's
expanse
is
on the
fine.
brain.
Expands. We're expansive in our minds.
This is a quiet
Verdant
one.
silence.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's getting worse. Okay.
It's our
Yeah.
just favorite moment. Favorite moment. Nice and succinct.
Glitch getting the one time that he's gonna get to be sassy to her.
Yes.
One time.
Yes.
Took her
Enjoy
not
it.
being able to respond for him to be able to
Just
say
enjoy
to
it while
her
you
face.
can.
Yeah.
Yep.
Glitch
Enjoy
is
it
gonna get
now.
shanked. It's gonna happen.
Fine. He's already impaired. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Leslie
great.
has a long memory.
Metzley does hold grudges.
Anybody remember Donahue?
Yeah. No, who?
Nah, who?
Donna who?
Oh, Terry.
Perfect.
Anyway.
All right. Thanks so much, Quinn, and thank you for like trooping along despite no voice, and for giving me the opportunity for that wonderful body horror intrusion to use.
So good. So
Excellent. All right, let's kick on over to Emma.
Hi. Hello. I'm Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. You can find me here on Thursdays, and on Mondays you can also find me here because I live here at 6 p.m. Eastern for Grim Femmes, where we use storytelling to unpack real life trauma and pain. My favorite moment this evening, I think, would have to be, I think the moment when the conversation between Marcus and Glitch, I think, was so beautiful and poignant and lovely and heart-wrenching on a lot of levels. And I really loved watching that unfold. And I just have missed you all so much. And that's it.
Excellent. Perfect. All right, let's go on over to Maria.
Hello, it's me. You could find me at Happy Capster on Twitter, where I talk about a lot of things. You can also find me at Society Goblins, where we also on Twitter, where we post a lot of D&D 5e magic items and stuff, and it's real cool. I'm also here on Thursdays, and then also on Sundays with Urban Shadows with Tehran, where things are getting real good. And then Mondays with Grim Femmes with a lot of these people. It's great. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And my favorite moment. Well, I also really liked that Marcus and Glitch talk. I melted into a puddle of sadness. But I also, in a not great way for Eva, enjoyed her momentary cracking. Is everything real? Things aren't real. Everything's a dream. So nothing is bad. It's fine. It's fine. Space is good. Space
Perfect.
is good. It's fine. It's fine.
Let's go on over to Anders.
That's me. Hello, I'm Anders. You can find me at Anders_D_K on the internet. I'm here for this on Thursdays. I'm here on Monday at 6 for Grim Femmes. I'm on Dice Priori on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock EDT. That's the time I know it as, for Firefly. Apparently that's turning into Sad Space too. I missed last week, but I guess space in general is just sad right now. That's fine. And soon, starting January 1st, which is a lot sooner than I realized, I will be here on Wednesdays at 7 DMing Where Roots Remain with Quinn and Val, who isn't with us, and also other awesome people from VR that you know and love. And you should check it out because it's not in space, but it will probably be a little sad.
Excellent.
Favorite moment. Sorry, I always
yes.
forget. There were so many, but Marcus rolling a 1 and smashing the door.
It was great.
Real
So good.
So good.
Still not gonna lie, I thought I died in that moment.
I also thought I killed Ava, so
That would have been real bad.
Marcus would have been done.
All right, well, let's go on over to Taryn then.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taryn. You can find me on the Twitters at TarzanNoZ. And you can find me as well as here on Thursdays. You can find me here on Sundays, starting at the same time frame with Urban Shadows, Juno, Darkness Beckons, which is also sad, but a different kind of sad. And so, since all we do here on VR is sad, but there's also been great moments, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. You should come check us out. Yeah, that's it for that favorite moment tonight. All of it. Shoot. Glitch the whole night. Like, just Anders is amazing, and I just like watching him play it. Glitch. It's great. The wall thing. Yeah, just all of it. Just all of Glitch.
Perfect. All right. Well, yes, I'm here. You can find me here and on Twitter at MadSciDM. That's pretty much it. Favorite moment for me? I don't know. Yeah, Glitch doing Glitch's thing was always great. And I get to do a lot of seductive demon voices. So that was fun, as always. So yeah, that was pretty much me. And I think that's it. So I'm going to set up a raid for Scraticus. And we'll sign off. And we'll see y'all soon. So good night, everybody.
Send us favorite moment. Ella cried.
All right. Night, folks.